Old Man Sarge. Haven't recorded for a while, mainly because I was struggling with some of my other goals that are kind of boring to watch with Seer Ensei. So one of my goals with Seer was I wanted to create some items of some of the schematics that I had found, and I needed some components, and I needed some I just needed a lot of things in order to build it. Like, for example, I need falcon feathers, which you find off of cedar trees. Presently, as of January 2025, the only place to find them is in Hagor, and you know, needs probably a full group of people that are about his level, and you have to be acclimated to frigid climates, so you have to do that quest to do that. And then even after I got 2 of the falcon feathers, I needed to get my fletching up high enough, and so a couple people helped me with that. And then I needed to be able to make a totem, I don't know if it's a totem or what it was, but that required me to have to learn how to do that. So that took time, and it took a lot of maple leaves or maple wood to do that. I had to go get all that. So yeah, it was a process. And it was kind of boring, so I kind of thought, well, I don't think I'm gonna record that. Apparently they've made changes on stealth. I don't know if it's like they've increased the aggro range or reduced the effectiveness of your invisibility or what it was, but that, you know, I didn't really realize it. I guess I should have read a little bit more. I didn't really realize it. And so I had gone out to Silent Plains and got killed. Died because I didn't realize that where I used to walk, I couldn't walk any longer. So I had to find different routes. So I had to go back into, you know, very careful mode in order to do that. So that took some time out. Now you might be upset with something like that, but to me that's fine. It's just I needed to learn it. I'm just not quite high enough level. I don't feel comfortable with these. I'd like to kill them because I need to kill 2 more of them. I could kill him, that guy, as long as, and it's night, so it's hard for me to see who's near him. There's this one right here walking by him, and he's walking the other way. Yeah, it's just not gonna work out. There's too many. Well, I can go up here though. There's too many close, and I don't feel comfortable killing yellow mobs. So now I'm gonna kill a light blue one. Most people at my level in this game are in thrown fast. You know, there's nothing like that staff that I made has like I think all of my spells have to do with intelligence and charisma. Yeah, intelligence and charisma, and the staff that I made is beneficial to wisdom and charisma. Oh, well, I mean, it increases crit chances, right? Interesting. So, I mean, maybe, you know, maybe having a wisdom charisma staff isn't such a bad thing. But I'm just wondering if that's like a more useful staff for a enchanter. The only thing is that there's actually a staff that you can get with a group in Throne Fast that I think is +2 intelligence and like I don't remember, some +18 crit or something like that. So I'm wondering how useful the staff is that I have. I'm going to offer it to people, you know, to give it to them, but they may not even want it. And that took a lot to put together. But I guess it's all right. I have quite a few schematics and components, and maybe it'll bleed over into something that's useful for other things that I may find. We are going to try this. We are going to put looking for group on. And see what happens. Otherwise, I think this area, I mean, it's night, it's hard to see. I don't want to get too close to those lions. This may be the most that we can do in this area here safely. This used to be a really big place that people would level up around my level 10, 11, but you don't see anybody that level here very often, and that's because I think Throne Fast has so much more depth of things to do and things to kill. I think one more level and I feel more comfortable with the trappers. Right now I just kind of go over and check them out. And if there's one that is white, then I will I'll take it out. I'll take him out. Otherwise, I'm just kind of killing blues right now. Now, I did make this. So this cloth hat. I made two of them. I made one for somebody else too. But I gave it to my enchantress here. It's a +2 agility and +3 charisma. So my charisma is 12 now, my intellect's 14. And agility 8. Increases dodge chances. So there is that. My nose is just bugging me. So we're gonna kill another light blue. With my wizard, I wouldn't even do this. I don't even like to kill blue mobs with him. And I find trying to use this spell turn is difficult for me. But it's a pretty cool spell. What spell turn does is you grab... let's see. If your target is casting a silenceable spell, absorb that spell. And this allows you to cast it for yourself within 5 seconds. So you absorb it and then you can cast it back on them. That's pretty cool. And then you have your overall stun, and then you have this other stun. So enchantresses or enchanters have like 3 different stunning abilities. We'll get rid of this guy because he's in the way. We have 4 bubbles of experience to go before we will level up to 10. Or 11, I mean. Uh-oh. We didn't really have to do that. We could have just fought it, but... And, okay, so there's a lot of complaints, or comments, or videos, I guess, on enchanters. And the comments basically are that, yeah, they're great in a group, but you can't really solo with them. And so my wizard, he would do quite a bit of damage with his spells. But this spell is like... There's hardly any cooldown. It's 1.5 seconds. And I don't know that the wizard has any spell that has that short of a cooldown. So you can spam that spell to do damage. So in the same amount of time, you actually might do quite a bit of damage. I'm not going to say more than a wizard. The wizard has a spell that it's like an ice volley. They've got a couple of them that are interesting. One of them that I have is electrical storm, and the other one's like a blizzard, and they follow the creature around and they do damage, and they'll do like, right now they'll do like 100 to 120 damage plus whatever spell crits come in, like for 3 ticks, 3 times. Not the electrical one because that's lower level, but this blizzard. And then I have an ice volley, which you stand there and you're just throwing ice at the creature. And I don't remember how much that one does, but those are the 2 that are like multiple damage ones. And then you've got your big spells. Enchanters are different. They don't have a lot of like spells for attacking. They have a lot of like stun spells, like this one. And then you have this one that gets the money or the mana back. And then this is like your little damage over time, cranial or whatever. And so you don't quite have the punching power, but you've got a lot more stuns that you can throw in if you need to. I don't even hardly ever use this one because it's an area stun, and if you're around other creatures, you'll stun them and then they'll aggro you right afterwards. But it's a good, like, last resort type stun. And so let's see what else. Oh, I'm gonna fight a fire beetle, I guess. We'll bring him down here a ways. I'm trying to become a good alchemist, but here's the problem. I want to level, and messing around with alchemy takes time, and I would rather spend that time leveling. And so I have some of the basic alchemy recipes, but outside of that I don't have a lot of knowledge on it. And my level is really low on alchemy. So I'm not sure, but... So we'll stun him, and we'll get some mana back. And then we'll hit him with some of our spells. Rabid creatures don't run. Just so you know what the rabid really means. Like, the advantage of hitting other creatures... like a regular wolf or a bear or something, is that when they get down to a certain number of hit points, they'll run away from you. Which means that if you're close, like if you fight them and you're close to, dying or whatever, if you can get them out just a little bit more, they'll run from you and you'll be like, I saved. But rabid ones won't. They'll stay till they're dead. I'm not sure how long we're going to video, maybe 15 or 20 minutes. I may not get a level 11 with on this video, but we're going to avoid green ones. We're going to go down this way now. You can go down this way a fair distance, and the things to fight are more spread out. So that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because you don't have to worry about like aggroing something, but it's bad because it means you're... There we go, we got a blue bat. And then what's this color is this guy? Okay. Basically you at this level, and I don't know how it goes higher up, but soloing with an enchanter at this level, you just need to go after blues and whites. It might be a little unfair for me to talk, because I mean I've got some pretty bad gear. You could probably get better gear than what I have from, you know, leveling and thrown fast and not killing creatures like I am, because you're going to be fighting humanoids probably and getting experience and loot and items. But the things that I have that are good is I have this hat that I made, which is, you know, this is a high level hat. This is level 3 crafting, sewing or whatever. What is it called? Tailoring. And then I have this, the staff's okay. I don't know what level the staff comes from. I would say this is probably about the level I'm at. And everything else is garbage. Or the robe. The robe would be something that you couldn't get normally. It's really good. Nightbane robe. The problem is that you, in order to get some of the ingredients for the robe, you need to go into Haldir's cave, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and that takes a group and a level higher, a much higher level group than me. Probably, I don't know how you would get this. Maybe you'd be level 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't know. But 2 intellect, 10 mana, and 18 spell crit rating. And that's what I'm saying. When you have a staff, there's a staff that you can get off of a named guy in Thrown Fast. A skeleton, I think. And that's probably better than the staff that I made. Here, I'll show you the staff I made. Staff I made. Oh, I can't. It's on Seer, my wizard. And I don't know. If nobody wants it, I'll put it on this character, I think. Because wisdom gives me spell crit. I just don't know how the math works. But I mean, I have a +1 stamina with this staff. But if I can get the other staff, I think it's +2 intelligence and skill crit and crit. The only thing I'd be gaining here is 2 charisma. And so far I'm unsure how impactful charisma is. I think later on it'll be really impactful because you'll be able to charm pets and you'll want to be able to do that. What else can I talk about? So, I watched a video from the lead developer, I think, think he puts a bunch of videos out for this game. And I kind of was disappointed in the video. And the main reason I am is because I kind of like the way this game is now. I'm not saying I don't want more content. I don't want some changes to it. But I don't want other changes to it. I'd rather have no changes than the bad changes. And the bad changes are my opinion, but I don't like mounts because I've said this in one of my older videos. Mounts decrease the size of the world. You don't really know that they do, but they do. And people want mounts because they look cute and they're fun, I guess. But the only reason they want them is because they don't want to have to traverse the world. So a level 40, level 35 doesn't want to like have to run all the way back and then all the way back out to some dungeon or something way out in the middle of nowhere. And to me, that's part of adventuring, you know? That's part... I know, and I know that most people are against me on this, and that's fine. Like, I'm fine with being the odd one out. But the easier you make it for people to travel, and you already have it fairly easy because there's going to be wizards, there's going to be druids, they're going to port people, you're going to group with them, and then at the end, when you get done grouping, they're going to port you somewhere. You know, port you back to the home civilization area. But then if you want to go back out into those difficult areas, then hopefully you're going to find another teleportation back out there again. But it's just like, it adds flavor to the game to have that, you know, requirement or kind of added thing. It adds flavor. You have to deal with people. You have to deal with the wizards and the druids. If you don't, then you can run, but it's going to take you an hour to get out there, or 45 minutes, or whatever, from your city. To me, that's important to have those aspects of the game. And you make the roles of those characters significant beyond what else they do. So, you might say, well, we want to go to this event, this dungeon or whatever out there. So we need to have, we want to either get a DPS or a wizard or a druid. That would be our preference. One of the two, because either one of them can transport us out there. The druid can heal, or the wizard can DPS. So, what do we want to end up filling our spots with? I mean, that's cool stuff. But if you don't need the wizard or the druid, because it takes you 10 minutes to jump on your horsey, or your fluttery bat or whatever they're gonna put in, I couldn't believe I heard what he was saying. We're going to make these little fluttery bat thingies, and you're going to jump on them, and you're going to go up and fight, this air realms in the sky or whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, give me my old game back. And I mean, what I mean by that is, I really liked EverQuest. I'm not saying that I was in love with the graphics and a lot of the other aspects of the game, but I didn't have to deal with, I don't know, I'm an old gamer, I guess. I didn't have to deal with people wanting to turn themselves into a panda bear, or something. I mean, I understand, turning yourself into, a wolf or something like that. Okay, I mean, that was even in Lord of the Rings. People, whatever, that guy that changed himself into a bear, I mean, that's fine, but I don't know. It's just kind of all this stuff that was put into some games that made me quit. Uh-oh. So what we'll do is we'll do this just to get our practice in. So we're gonna mez him real quick. So just keep in mind, if you're playing the first reaction you should have if you're playing an enchantress or enchanter is that you can mez. That's the first thing, or you can stun. So your first reaction shouldn't necessarily be to run. It should be to stun, like this. Get some mana back. Running in this game rarely really works. It does work on occasion, but a lot of times you're almost better off, you know, somehow decapacitating whatever you're fighting and then running away. So, like right now, if something else attacked me, I would mez it and I would run because my health and my mana are so low. Okay, so back to what I was talking about. I think I'm going to email or send a message somehow if they don't watch this video or videos like this, but I don't mind them if they want to put things in their game to encourage other people to play these cutesy, stupid stuff that I don't like. I call it stupid. If you want to put it in your game, if you could just please create a server or 1 or 2 servers that is hardcore. Old school hardcore server. Get rid of your mounts, don't want them. Make it so that your death is even harsher than it is now. I know it sounds strange to people, but I want to play a difficult game because I want to have each level feel really rewarding, not just that I'm blowing through them. And I want the death to feel bad. You know, and some people will say, well, it already feels bad. Well, I understand. I want it a little bit stricter. That's personally me, but I'm fine with the way it is now. But if you could make a hardcore server, that I would absolutely love it. You know, when you release your game and you want to release your cutesy little fluttery mounts or whatever, that's fine. You go ahead and do that. I don't know how much I'll play the game though. If there's too much of that in there, I can tolerate some of it, but if there's too much, I'm just going to be, you know what, there's other things I can do. And I'll go do those other things. I don't want mounts. I know that, I think his name is Joppa. I know that he wants mounts. I'm sorry, I don't agree with you. Mounts, I want the world huge, big. I want it bigger than EverQuest has ever imagined to be. The other thing that I said in one of my earlier videos was, if you want to keep the world big, and it seems like now they have more capability of doing this. Like they can go in and tweak things really easy. I'm not sure how much they could have done in the original EverQuest when it was released. Like how much they could tweak things, change things. I don't know. It seems like maybe it was all hard-coded and they couldn't do it because there wasn't like a variety of servers, there wasn't a variety of different ways to play the game. I could be wrong, but it just seems to me like they couldn't. So, but now they can. I can tell it because they're doing it right now. They're changing things around. They're making some areas, you know, these are group mobs now. Can we go to the camp? We still can't go to the camp. There's an invisible wall. You know, they're still I know that they can come in and adjust things. And so here's my ask. When you add an expansion to the game, because you're going to, and I mean it's a good way for you to expand the world and to make a little money and all of that, is come out with an expansion. But when you come out with an expansion, don't make it better than the current world. I know that's a big ask, because they're going to want to do it. They're going to be saying, well, we'll come up with this expansion, this little tiny location. It'll be brand new, and it's going to have the best armor and the higher level creatures, and everything's going to be better than the old world. Oh my God, that was a mistake that EverQuest did with that. Why is it a mistake, you might ask? Like, why am I adamant about it? Because what happens is all the people that are playing the game gravitate to the new location because they want the best gear. And so you have everybody fighting for the best gear, and the whole world depopulates. You know, the whole world, you have nobody playing in it except for maybe they're farming, you know, a specific item that might exist somewhere. You know, like, I think the example I can give is there was a really good, I think it was a chainmail piece in EverQuest that would regenerate health, like really high. And so you could sit there and fight with it while you're wearing it. And, you know, you could level up really pretty good with it. And they never made another one as good as that I know of. Maybe in the later versions of the game they did, but as far as Canark and Velius, they did not. And so people would still go to Guck and farm that. You know, farm that one armor piece, because it was valuable and it was hard to get. But other than that, the only time people came back is when they wanted to kill a dragon or something. You know, because the high-level dragon still had some decent items, and that's the problem. If you do an expansion, you're going to want to make it, better items, better. Don't do that. Upgrade everything in the world. And all over the world. The other thing that would be really cool is if you made your items that you found in different places of the world that were good, whether they were in the jungles of the Wild's End or in Thronefast or in the other areas that will come out, if you made them look distinctively different, like different cultures. They didn't really do that in any game that I know of. You know, I mean, they had different armor pieces, but imagine what a knight, a paladin, would look like from Thronefast. Now imagine what a paladin might look like from Wild's End. Maybe in Wild's End they're a little more, I don't know. They got shining coral armor that shimmers or something from the ocean, or I don't know, because they're right next to the ocean there, right? And maybe Thronefast is just your standard, like what you would expect a knight to look like. That's what I'm talking about. And they don't necessarily have to be better, you know. They wouldn't necessarily have to be better from each location. They just would need to look different. And what's interesting or kind of cool about that is if you do that, then people know that you've been somewhere. Oh, you've been to the eastern part of the continent. You've been to the western part of the continent. You've been down on Wild's End hunting. You came from here. You know, whatever. It's another way to kind of differentiate where people have been located. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna probably end my... We'll see how close I am. Maybe I can go to the end. 2.5 bubbles. We had like 4 to go. No, we're gonna go ahead and end it here. And I will talk... Well, maybe let's see if we can kill this orc. Let's see how does he con. He's blue. Let's kill the orc. He'll give us... we've been killing creatures this whole time. As long as we don't end up fighting a bear or a rabid grizzly bear. So let's pull him. Let's let that hurt him a little bit. Pull him down to a little safer area and start hitting him. And then we'll stun him. Get some mana back. And that gives us a little bit of money versus having to sell everything to get money. I still do that, but... And notice, like, you saw one person run by, and I think that person's a wizard. But that's it. Like, you haven't seen anyone else. I'm a little worried about this. Like, this is not recommended that you skin that close to that rabid wolf when you're a third of your mana and half of your health, or 2/3 of your health. Okay, so I'm going to continue on, and we'll talk with you the next time. Thanks for watching.